Yeah. I ain't never had nothing.
Hey, welcome back to OhDollyNetworks. Dolly here with the most infamous female rapper of Jersey City, Miss Taylor Portt.
Bless. Serenity. You know mommy got you forever. Yo, I said I never broke a...
The first question I want to ask, and I'm pretty sure all the viewers, especially the new ones, want to know, is how did you get the name Taylor Portt?
Well, for those who don't know, I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and I was chilling with my boy named Orlando, shout out to Orlando. And we were on this street called Boswick Avenue. And we happened to be walking up the block, and his mom and his cousin, they was all chilling on the porch at the Airbnb. And she had this big old bottle of wine of Taylor Portt. So they sitting there like, so I asked her, so what's that? So she like, you don't want none of this, youngin', you don't want none of this. I'm like, no, I want to try it. She said, girl, I'm telling you, you don't want none of this. Her voice was a little bit more funny, but I ain't gonna walk out saying that. But Londa went out, he had got some cups for us, and I drunk it, and it, oh my gosh, it took, like I was done. My dad even had to come pick me up, like that's how crazy it was.
So you was done.
I was
lit.
I was lit, like done. And for some reason, that's how the name came up. Like a couple days later, I was on Facebook, and I was like, I don't want to keep putting my real name up here.
Right.
I want to say, because my name came from K Nice. It went from K Nice to
Not
Boss
K
Lady.
Nice.
K Nice, man. Yeah, it went from K Nice to Boss Lady, and then I'm like, that's kind of whack. I need to change it. And then Taylor Portt.
Yeah, Taylor Portt stands out, kind of, especially with your style. It fits you.
Yes.
It fits you. I'm happy that the lady introduced you to that liquor. But you have a new EP, 1124.
1124.
What inspired you on this EP? Like, what is driving you to get this out?
I kept seeing 1124 on the clock. I kept seeing it. I'm like, why I keep seeing these numbers? 1124. I'm a Google fanatic. I Google everything. So I Googled it, and then this guy I bumped into down in North New Jersey while I was waiting for a bus. He was like, are you into numbers? It's crazy how it happened. He was like, are you into numbers? He's like, look it up. It's angel numbers. He started running down to me how numbers work, and you know how it comes about in your life path, and your love life and all other stuff. So when I went and looked it up, it was saying that I'm spiritually connected to God, and I have angels that are guiding me to my purpose. So when I read it, I just forgot about it. I'm like, whatever. But when I just read it again, like when I was pregnant with my daughter, because that's when I started actually working on my EP. It was saying to me that I had to stay consistent with my purpose and live it out, because I had people that had the influence and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's deep.
So if you receiving all of the signs and you know what that purpose is, you got to be fearless and just go in that direction. And this kind of brings me to my next question. I want to know, what is the biggest obstacle right now for you as a female, for you as a black female, for you as a mom? What is your biggest obstacle when it comes to you reaching your goals, reaching that purpose?
I want to say that I have obstacles. I'm not saying that to be perfect, but I learned to turn it around, because I notice when I get emotional, that's when it becomes a burden. That's when it becomes an obstacle. So I learned to turn that around. But yeah, it used to be my emotions. That was my obstacle, because if I was feeling some way towards my kid's dad, or if anybody did anything to me, like real quick, like I would try to hold on, be strong, but I'm like, dang, I got such a big heart. Like, why is this happening to me? So my emotions would take a toll on me. But God was actually, trying to show me to use that in a different,
turn it around.
Turn it around. So unless you go through things in life, that's the only way you know how to tackle things. You know what I'm saying? You know, flip it around, turn it around.
So as I've been watching you, right? And I met you a few years ago. I've always been a fan. I think that your style is dope. I think that your flow is dope. And I feel like a lot of people should know who Taylor Portt is. So I was watching you for a while, and you was on it. On every record I was hearing in Jersey City, you was doing fashion shows at one point. And then at one point you went on this little hiatus, like you were gone, disappeared.
When them funds get low and 200 ain't enough to pass go, to call your mom, it ain't an option, you got it, she think it's in control. The struggle steady taking toll. My poor baby don't know. Every place a different shelter, he gon' make it his home. Tuck his sister in at night, he gon' think that he grown. I see my father in them when we alone. This is something that I couldn't once imagine.
You mentioned that you were in a depression. as we all know, we all go through depression, and everybody goes through their depression differently. What way did you get through your depression?
The way that I got through my depression is that I strayed away from social media. The reason why I strayed away from social media is because you find yourself comparing yourself to other people.
Right.
Oh, well, I don't have that. Oh, why did you? I don't care what it is, to what they have, to that girl, down to anything. Like, you start to compare yourself. So when you do that, I felt like I lost my identity. So that's when I isolated myself. I said, no, I can't do this. Like, no, that was one form of depression that I went through. The other one was I was financially unstable at the time. It was like, I got this car. I ain't got nowhere to live because I was coming from a shelter. I went from, I was staying with one of my cousins. I was actually staying with Pete. Shout out to his mom. They had me, staying in their basement, but after I left there, I ended back up in the shelter again. That's when I went down south. But it's like, I practically was living out my car. Another form of depression. I'm like, damn, because what I'm gonna do? At the time, it was me and my son. So when you get like that, it's kind of an embarrassment, it's a shame, and you don't want nobody to know what you're going through. Even though I got a lot of people who would support me and give me money and stuff like that, but to me, I always felt like it was a burden. So I never would tell people, what I was going through, because I was always the giver. I never was about it. I always was the giver. So I was like, I'm cool, I'm gonna get through this. So the way I dealt with it, I just stayed away. And then I fast, and I'm a very spiritual person. Like, I give God the glory for everything, for any and everything I go through. I give it all to Him, and I tell people that you put Him first, everything will align your path. Ask Him to be the light of my feet. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen that He needed my attention, that's when I cut everything off. I'm like, you want my attention, so that's when I cut social media, I cut everything off. So once I did that, I seen that He started to make things in my life better. Like, and then even when my daughter came, I was like, I tried to get rid of her. That didn't work. So I'm like, everything has for a reason. This was on purpose. This was His purpose. I advise people to talk to people about it. You can't, because people die from that stuff. Like, I had so many people I see on Facebook and they tell me they're going through depression. Instantly, I close my eyes, I start praying for them. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Depression is serious. And you talk to somebody.
You're a mom.
Yes.
You're a boy mom and you're a girl mom. The time you spend with your children, do you think that it helped you with your depression?
Oh, what? Did it? Every time I looked at my son, every time I looked at my, let me tell you something, children are so smart because they pick up on their parents' vibes. And any parent that's watching, they know that. They know when something's wrong with you. I don't care if, sometimes, like if I be crying, if I'm laying down in bed and I'm crying, blessing out of nowhere, he'll run in and say, Mommy, you okay? Are you okay, Mommy? And I wipe my face real quick, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I start laughing at him, but they know. But every time I look at Blessing, or I look at, so like I said, it's something about, that surround me, but it's something about Blessing. But when I look at them, it's like a sense of calmness, like just take over, like I'm good. It's like as long as I got them and I'm making them happy, and it's not materialistic stuff, people need to know that. It's not buying them, because sometimes I take Blessing phone with them, and I let them know, no, this is not gonna run over your life, you know what I'm saying? This is not gonna take over your life. But my kids, oh man, my kids keep me going, and I thank God I got my kids, because ain't no telling, oh Lord have mercy, ain't no telling how it would be right now. But seriously.
Do you think that having kids will affect you being a rapper?
Absolutely not.
Or about what you rap about?
It keeps me going. It's more to talk about. I have a story. I got multiple things to talk about. I could talk about men, I could talk about my family, I could talk about my kids, but I want my fans to see how the transition is what's happening. Like, you see me up, you see me down, you see me come back up again. I want you to see that just because I got kids, that don't stop nothing. And that's why I say the power of manifestation is serious. The power of prayer is serious. If you want to say to yourself, oh no, me and my kids gonna get this mansion. We gonna get this house, we gonna do this. You have to speak it, and not only that, you speak it, you have to believe. You have to believe it. Like I said, I manifest my daughter. My cousin would say, what you want? You want a girl or a boy? Oh, I'm having a girl. I would say these things. And then when I went down south, I was staying with my cousins. Now, at the shelter in my car, I'm staying with my cousin down south now. And I'm saying, and all I would manifest, I would say, I'm like, God, I know you're gonna make a way. I know you're gonna make a way. I ended up with a 2-bedroom apartment there. A 2-bedroom apartment. The money I was supposed to use to get an abortion with. And that's how God worked. I took that money, put on security, and look, I'm good now. I'm saying by the grace of God.
Wow.
But
Just the fact from you going from a shelter to moving to a place where you barely know
yes.
with 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Getting an apartment and getting back on your grind with music. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
I'm thankful and I'm blessed. You know, like I can't give that credit to me. I give that to God.
Of course.
I give it all to God.
Of course.
And yes, and secondly, I'm very proud of myself because sometimes, like 2020 been rough for all of us. It's been rough for all of us. But I say to myself, if I thought I knew myself before 2020,
I bet you know yourself now.
what?
I bet you
And he
know
had the nerve to
yourself
put a
now.
baby on, and he had the nerve to drop a baby in me. Oh Lord have mercy. If I ain't know myself before, if I ain't know this year, I know who Teleport is. I know Shakima. I know who she is. I know who she is. Like it's been rough, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
I'm grateful to have you on OhDollyNetworks. Hopefully this time next year we can catch up with you again because I know that 1 year may not seem like a lot of time to people, but with your prayer and your manifestation and the people who believe in you and you believing in yourself, I definitely believe that you are going to go far and in a time span that you can't even imagine. Because sometimes like we think like this, and this is our goals, but what God has for us is like this. So I'm excited about your future.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming on OhDollyNetworks. I'm honored.
Thanks for having me, Dolly.